Hey guys, before this vlog really begins, I wanted to kind of apologize about the poor quality of it this time. Camera 2 was out of focus a bit, and also the audio was a bit off. I didn't expect the microphone to really pick up the rain as much as it did, and I was kind of trying to shout over the rain at the same time. So I've learned quite a few things this time, so please bear with me on this episode, and I'll improve things for you for the next one. Hey everyone, Elliot here with a new travel vlog. Welcome to Zion National Park. I've been camping here for the past 3 nights and I just wanted to share my experiences here with you. As you can see behind me, there's quite a bit of snow and it's pretty dang wet. I've heard from Zion's park staff that their most senior park members haven't seen this much snow and rain in the last 25 years. So my experiences here may be a little bit wetter than yours when you come for your own visit. Right now I'm filming in front of the Court of the Patriarchs. Unfortunately, you can't really see them on camera. The fog is kind of rolled in to cover them up and the cameras can't really capture that right now. I'm also filming right next to the road, so I'm taking a bit of a risk with my audio, so please forgive me if anything happens. So let me explain the situation at the campground. It's $20 per night, and there are multiple heated bathrooms with running water and clean drinking water to access. And best of all, the visitor center has free Wi-Fi. So put all this together and you got a pretty comfortable camping experience here at Zion National Park. But if camping's not your thing, this town of Springdale is right at the doorstep of Zion National Park. There are many shops, cafes, restaurants, and hotels for you to stay at, so you never have to sleep on the cold ground. Also, within the warmer seasons, there are shuttles that run between Springdale and Zion National Park, or you can just walk into Zion itself and take the shuttles throughout the park. Here in the winter though, we have the advantage of being able to travel with our own cars. There are no shuttles running, so we have the freedom to go wherever we want. I just want to note here that I spent all my time here in Zion Canyon. There are 2 other sections of the park, out east with Mount Carmel Highway, which is more of a drive-in kind of experience, and then up north in Co-op Canyon, which features more hikes, but it's a little bit disconnected from the main park. For the most part, your experience here will be within Zion Canyon. When I first got into Zion, I saw some interesting low-lying clouds within the canyon. These clouds would sit about halfway up the canyon and would create a visually appealing scene. Unfortunately, I don't think I was able to get any pictures of those. On my first day here, I went up and down the Riverside Walk, starting at the Temple of Sinawava and ending at the Narrows. It's an easy walk that anyone can complete, and even people in wheelchairs, although wheelchairs might be a little bit more difficult. But the part of that walk that probably interests the most people is access to the Narrows. I've never been in the Narrows before. It's a hike that goes up and down the Slot Canyon that requires hikers to wade through the stream. It's not exactly a hike I'd recommend in the cold winter. So while the Riverside Walk might not excite the most avid of hikers, I still think that it's a great experience for everyone to have. It's interesting to walk by the Virgin River and be in the bottom part of the Zion Canyon. But while easy paths like the Riverside Walk exist for accessibility and provide a good experience, I personally still think that the best experiences are on the more strenuous hikes. And I go on 2 of these hikes on my later days. On my second day here in Zion, I attempted the observation point hike. I say attempted because it didn't end out so well. But let's start at the beginning of the day though. I woke up late, but that didn't really matter. The road was closed until 10:30 a.m. because so much snow accumulated overnight that they had to run the plows through the canyon. So pretty much everyone, including me, had a late start that day. At first, I wanted to go do the Angel's Landing hike. However, the parking lot was already full by the time I got there. So I went on to the observation point. The observation point hike is a 4-mile trail that leads to a great lookout point overlooking the canyon. I'll put up an older picture I have here. This trail also includes the Weeping Rock, which many people stop at. It's an interesting feature of Zion, but to me it wasn't exactly a photographic highlight of the route. Getting back onto the main trail, I actually found myself to be the first one on the trail since that snow. I was stepping into fresh snow and I was essentially clearing the path for the hikers behind me. But being the slowpoke that I am, others soon quickly caught up. I ended up joining a group of 4 hikers, Blake, Blaine, Bo, and Sarah. And their 2 service dogs. So together we ventured up through the fresh snow and broke a path for the others behind us. There were a few places along the trail where there were like small avalanches, like snow slides that occurred earlier in the day. We cautiously went over these snowbanks, and we also were very wary of more snow slides. Throughout the course of our hike, we were able to see more snow slides occur off the trail, but of course we must be careful that doesn't happen on our trail. As we got higher up, unsurprisingly, the snow got deeper. The most sketchy part of the hike was in the little slot canyon that the trail cuts through. In this slot canyon, which I believe is called Echo Canyon, there's a little creek there. In the warmer seasons, the little creek is barely an inch deep. However, this time, the creek was about 6 inches deep, very much deep enough to get your shoe wet. Blake ended up falling into the creek, which he must have been so cold for the rest of that hike. We ended up at the halfway point, 2 miles in, shortly after that slot canyon, and we checked the time. To our dismay, we were going a little slower than a mile per hour. At this point, we decided that we were underprepared for this hike and that it was too much for us to cut through the snow like this, and decided to turn around. There are also other hikers behind us that came to the same conclusion. No one wanted to slog it out to the very end. Blake wasn't the only one to fall into the creek. On the way back, I also fell into the creek and joined his same miserable fate there. Because of falling into the creek, I ended the second day trying to warm up in the visitor center, mooching off their free Wi-Fi. But I did try to get some other pictures on the way back though. Day 3 comes around and I find myself in a very similar situation that I was in Arches. I don't have a winning shot yet. Can day 3 save me again? This time I decided to go to the Angel's Landing hike, and to ensure that I got a parking spot this time, I left shortly after sunrise, which was actually pretty late at 7:45 a.m. Another hiker, Nick, and I started about the same time, and we decided to go up the trail together, having nice personal conversations along the way. I always find it nice when I'm able to form a group with strangers and just have nice conversations with them. There's some sort of camaraderie that builds up, well, that I think that builds up when we're struggling on the same trail together. Angel's Landing is probably Zion's most well-known hike here, and because of its popularity, a lot of people hiked it on that day when there was a lot of snow on the ground. So we had a nice clear trail to go up on, and it was very easy without training through snow. So to tell you about the Angel's Landing hike, it's about a 3.5 mile hike one way, up steep switchbacks, and closing at the top is what really people like about the hike. Getting close to the very top are a series of chain guided paths that you have to hang on to while not falling off the edge. This chain guided path leads to the top of a rock that overlooks the canyon, and it's a very nice scenic spot. Now I didn't really take any footage of this section as I found it extremely difficult to do with the camera in tow. So if you really want to know what it looks like, you got to come see it here in person. I remember last year when I went through this chain section, I was so scared. You can easily see the edge whenever you look down, which, you know, you're not really supposed to look down, but I do anyway. So I'm a big fat chicken, and I ended up really slowing everyone down on that hike last year. This time though, the snow actually made the path look a little bit wider than it was, which kind of gave me a little boost in confidence as I was going up the chain. However, don't be fooled. The snow creates false edges. There were signs of some other hikers stepping onto the false edge and having no rock below them. That's pretty scary, right? Nick and I were eventually able to summit the hike of Angel's Landing, and we were able to experience the splendor of Zion Canyon in the winter. We were also able to observe a really interesting weather effect too. When we first got up there, visibility was pretty low. However, over the course of 10 to 15 minutes, visibility grew and we were able to see further down the canyon. And then after a little bit, the fog wall came right back and visibility was limited once again. We would also meet another hiker at the very top, David. So on this hike, we were hikers number 5, 6, and 7 to complete it. So after taking our pictures and selfies up there, we decided to head back down. Nick branched off early to go on the West Rim Trail where he was planning on camping. So I don't know how he did, but I wish him the best of luck. David and I went back to the trailhead, and David showed me his van that he's been living in for a while. A few people that I follow online also do the van living thing as they travel around the United States. I've also considered doing this myself, but to be honest, I don't think I can give up a shower. So despite completing the hike and making it all the way back down, I did slip a few times on the hike and got snow into my pants and down my shirt. So once again, I was pretty miserably wet. And once again, I would end the day early trying to dry off in the visitor center while mooching off the Wi-Fi and editing pictures. So while I did have a good time here in Zion National Park, I don't think I was able to really produce any image of high quality. It's not exactly the weather's fault though, as there were interesting effects that occurred, but I wasn't able to capitalize on them. I should have really doubled down on the first day to get those low-lying clouds. I got a little complacent and assumed that the fog would still be there like that over the next 2 days just because the weather forecast looks so similar. So in a way, I kind of feel like I failed my objective here at Zion, which is a little disappointing. Despite my hopes to get compelling imagery of every national park that I visit, it's important to take a step back and just realize that it's not possible every single time. Landscape photography is difficult. To really get the best shots possible, I really need to visit the same place multiple times, over and over and over again, just like what I did at the Delicate Arches National Park. However, here at Zion, because of how uncomfortable I was being wet, I only did each hike once, so I didn't get to do what I wanted. So after experiencing the wetness here, I think I'm definitely got to look into getting more appropriate wet weather gear as I approach the Pacific Northwest. Well guys, that does it for my time here at Zion National Park. And while I didn't really get to do that much here, I gotta really say it is a cool place no matter what you get to do here. If you do come here during the warmer season, you will see that a lot of options open up for all people of all accessibilities. However, once again, I just want to iterate that I think the best parts of Zion are within the more strenuous heights like Observation Point and Angel's Landing. So thanks for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed this travel vlog that I made. If you really did enjoy it, please do give it a like. And if you want to see more travel vlogs like this, be sure to subscribe. Also, keep up to date with any images that I produce, be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm really running behind schedule with this filming, and I gotta get to Death Valley right now. So until next time guys, see you later.